this negotiation, we're going to have a discussion over the idea that
Mm-hmm.
whether introverted people are more, let's say,
Successful.
successful in terms of finances, or the extroverted people. I
Right.
believe that, according to this negotiation, I believe that introverted people are more successful or financially independent. I have my own
Right.
reasons, but at first, let me just listen to you.
In my opinion, actually, because extroverted people are more sociable
Mm-hmm.
than introverted people, they can actually they really like teamwork instead of working alone. And I think if someone can do some work with each other, with another person, actually he or she can be more successful in his or her profession, because he or she can get some advice
Mm-hmm.
and actually get some new ideas from friends, from their colleagues, and use their ideas actually into his or her work.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion about this?
Yeah, actually, there is no doubt that extroverted people are more sociable people, and they
Mm-hmm.
just make contacts with others more easily. But that was a privilege or a benefit so many years
Mm-hmm.
ago. But with the help of technology these days, you don't need to be sociable and waste a lot of time actually socializing with people. For example, attending that party, this party, and just you can Google everything. You can make connections with others actually virtually, and
Right.
you can get everything done without
Mm-hmm.
necessarily even having a face-to-face connection with others. And you can
Um,
make a great investment of your time and the money and the energy. For example, you can run successful businesses online. Yeah.
right. As a matter of fact, it depends on the profession, your profession, because maybe someone's work is to develop, um, let's say, an application for nature,
Mm-hmm.
for for example, for society. If he or she don't go out and speak with people, speak with other persons, how can he or she actually do the best for his or her job?
Well, as a matter of fact, with that complexity level in
Yeah.
today's life, you cannot just go and make contact with people one to one, individually. You can, for
Right.
example, go to Facebook and create an event, and hundreds or millions of people will join that event, for example, about nature preservation, about,
Mm-hmm.
for example, global warming. And a lot of people actually will join it and will approve of your, for example, campaign. You create a campaign, and so many people about nature, as you said. And
Right.
it's much better and more economical, instead of just, for example, begging for friendship, and would you
Mm-hmm.
please join me on this
Right.
day?
Yeah, undoubtedly, with the help of technology, we can do anything alone. However, I mean, don't you think it's better to meet each other sometimes, at least one day a week?
Yes, sometimes, yes, but not generally. You can, for example, have it is technically called blended learning. For example, even in online classes or online or virtual classes, sometimes if the students and the teacher live in proximity with each other, in closeness, they are close to each other, they can, for example, once in a blue moon, they can just see each other in person and
Right.
enjoy. This is called blended learning.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just supplementary, not the principal part of the education system as we have it here. For example, if the campaigners to
Right.
save the nature, for example, after a while they see each other in person and they try to just put their heads together, and but the main part or activity actually is done online.
Right. So let's say another things.
Sure.
Actually, as you know, extroverted people prefer to speak up in meetings. Actually, on the other hand, introverted people prefer to share ideas when prompted. I think extroverted people with this ability can be more successful in their profession. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I don't think that actually having this tendency to speak up in public is a kind of advantage. I believe that introverted people just save their time and they are more focused. You know, they pay attention to something that really matters, and they can influence others. That's why, according to the statistics and psychological studies, the introverted people are more successful leaders, you know, even if they are not very sociable.
Exactly.
They lead others because they know how to influence others. You know, talking so much is not that important, but talking sense or science, it means in the right place at the right time to the right person, choosing your addressees actually, and saying something that really matters instead of just saying everything. You know, I think it's more influential.
Exactly. But as a matter of fact, as you know, introverted people enjoy one-on-one conversations, right? But suppose that you are one of member of a management board of a company, and you have to speak with the other members. If you be introverted, if you be an introvert person, you cannot speak easily. You are not comfortable, and you cannot expose your ideas.
Well, as I said, actually, I do agree with you. Actually, in this point of view. From this point of view, but if you are an introverted and you are a leader, you can just have a deputy or representative who is extroverted and actually who can do the same thing for you. You don't need to do everything for actually on your own. You are the leader. You can employ an extroverted person who can do that thing for you. But when you are a leader, you know, you can do everything.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on the manager of that company in that situation.
As I said, generally, managers or leaders tend to be more introverted, as far as I know, because they know how to control others, they know how to manipulate others, you know, and they know how to manage their time, because introverted people are better time managers.
Right. To a great extent, I think I am also an introverted person. And actually, I don't know, but I wanted to ask you about something that I really couldn't find in internet.
Okay.
Is it possible that an introverted person actually become an extroverted person in a while? For example, after 2 years, he or she changes to introverted or extroverted.
At which age?
For example, middle. For example,
you know, as a middle-aged person, it is rarely possible, because it is deeply rooted in their personality traits and personality type, and it has been hardened.
Right.
Ardent means it has been formed or shaped in that way. I don't want to
Exactly.
say that it is impossible, but it is
It's just too
next to
difficult.
impossible, let's say. Yeah.
Right. But what about young persons?
The earlier, the more possible. That is my answer to that. But when you are talking about introversion and extroversion, actually there are many other factors that behind these two, let's say, personality traits. For example, if a person, the way they think, the way they process information, and many other factors just are the causes of introversion or extroversion. It's not just so simple to say that, okay, this person is introverted or that person is extroverted. No, there are many causes for that.
Right.
Information processing is the key answer to this question, or
Exactly.
categorization. So if you process the information differently, you cannot change that information processing technique, or let's say a strategy that is mental and deeply rooted in your brain and mind. So you cannot change it so easily.
Yeah,
That's
you're
why I said
correct.
it's almost impossible.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Is there
Okay.
anything else you would like to just...
No, there is nothing else.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, there is a kind of misunderstanding that some people just form or make, and this is just equating an introverted person with a person who has problems in communicating with others. This is not the case. An introverted
Exactly.
person does not necessarily have social
Problem.
phobia, let's
Yeah,
say. Social phobia
exactly.
is a, let's say, problem that exists among people who somehow actually are suffering from degrees of autism or something like this. No. An introverted
Okay.
person is a person, including me, and you said you are an introverted too.
Right.
They do not like to socialize with others so much, or spend so much time just socializing with others. Yeah.
Exactly.
They prefer to just do something most of the time all alone. But whenever it is necessary for them to make connections with others, they do not have any problem in that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think extroverted people have more friends, but the bonds are less strong.
Bravo.
However,
Yeah.
introverted people have closer relationships with a few friends, and I think
Exactly.
it's the best. It's one of the best aspect of introverted
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, because quality is more important than quantity. You may have a
Quantity,
lot
yeah,
of friends, but they are not really good friends, and they are
yeah,
fair weather friends. And
exactly.
yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
that was a nice topic, and also a nice projection by you. I enjoyed it so much, and
Same here. Thank you.